Hey Lucas.
Hello, good
Yeah,
afternoon. How
good
are you?
afternoon. Yes, I'm doing great. And I didn't know that you're still joining the session today. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was hesitant. You might notice I'm more laying back because I had a
Mm-hmm.
small intervention here, so I'm just
Okay.
recovering. But
Okay.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
maybe if you're ready to go, I can just sit in. That would be great.
Um, Hold up. What? Okay,
No,
I
no, no.
am not.
Let's take it easy. Let's take it easy. Like you see, like me, I can't even laugh so hard because I still have some
Okay.
pain. But yeah, let's just take it easy. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I was
So,
looking at the board now. Go for it.
hold up. So, Lucy, do you want to do the honor of hosting today's session? Actually, no, I can. Yeah, I mean, I can do
No,
that.
no, it's up
Oh.
to you. We can split it, but
Mhm.
hello. So I was just saying that I'm laying back, I'm relaxing today. I have some things I was just looking at, for example, Catalyst or something.
Mhm.
But if you want to show Miro and you can drive a bit, that would be great.
Okay, awesome. Um, sure, I'll just try to do that, but
Yeah, no
can
stress, you
I?
know.
Okay, can I share screen, please? Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry. Okay. All participants should be good.
all right. Screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Kind of non-tap. Okay, should we just go ahead? Oops, sorry, I'm still not that used to like using Miro
Yeah,
yet.
it happens to me.
Yeah, let's just go ahead with we did review the Catalyst School last week, right? But I think we
Yeah,
can
we
still
took a
do
look at
something here.
Discord. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
take a
yeah.
look at Ideascale maybe.
So
Okay.
let me just collaborate with you on my side. I was
Mm-hmm.
opening up Ideascale and
Mm,
I'm going to drop the link for the
okay.
landing page on Miro.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be there. You can see my mouse probably. Peek at the scale. So here I'm zooming in and I'm going to maybe go into this post-it and put in Shift Enter and the URL.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can click on your side and we should be getting to the landing page.
All right. It should be the same as, yeah, it's the same as mine right now.
Yep.
And can we just explore this landing page and everything else? Because I we did submit a proposal a while back for CardanOx, right? But
Mhm.
I'm just not that sure how to navigate the interface
Okay.
because it is kind of confusing.
I
Like
am
I
not
don't,
the
yeah.
best person because I've
Mm-hmm.
always came in here directly with the link from
Mm-hmm.
proposer A, B, C. People are sharing links for specific proposals, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to find our bearings a bit.
Yep. I mean, we can just look around. So I know that this place is the place for all the ideas, right? And you can filter
Yeah.
by popular and maybe different challenges right now. Sorry,
Mhm.
where is it?
Yeah.
The
The
challenges are
challenges I
probably
think
here.
only appear when you're already on certain levels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So for example, the like stuff ideas related to building DAOs in Cardano. Actually, how is the DAO landscape like in Cardano right now? Because I haven't dabbled in DAO not only in Cardano, but I mean
Yeah.
I haven't really started diving into the space yet.
I can't. Again, I'm not the best person because I've
Mm-hmm.
only started with Gimbalabs. From there,
Mm,
I've reached out to another uh, handful, like two, three, four organizations.
mm-hmm.
In some of them, it's very. The gray area is huge between
Mm-hmm.
being a formal DAO or being a non-profit. For example, one of my friends in
Mm-hmm.
Germany, they decided to establish themselves as a non-profit
Okay.
organization because they want to have all the fiscal part formalized. You have Cardano for Climate, for example,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm not sure if they are formally formed like with a fiscal number or something of that sort, but they behave a lot like a DAO. Even Gimbalabs behaves a bit like a DAO.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have a governance token, for example, but we do have gimbals, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the answer for me is like you on the other hand, you have things like NFT DAO, you have
Mm-hmm.
things like ADAO, which now is starting something called like a summon protocol or something. I'm not sure what that is, but it's a spin-off, I think. So some of them are really, really aiming to be a full-fledged DAO. Others are not so formal.
Okay. Yep, that sounds great. Let's see.
Yesterday, for
How do I?
example, we have something that may be interesting for you guys. I'm gonna try to find the links. Let me just make a note here on my Cardano for non-text file. So putting an action to find for you the playgrounds from Gimbalabs, because on YouTube you should be able to find tons of them. We also have a Miro board, and this is to say, for example, yesterday we had a person come over from you don't have much content there nowadays for what we've been doing the last few sessions, but yeah, I'm gonna put it on on Miro later. Okay.
Okay.
So it's just to say that Gimbalabs hosts these sessions on Tuesdays at I think 6 UTC, 7 for us, where a person comes from each organization and introduces their project and etc.
Okay.
Yesterday, for example, we had this guy from I think it's Involvement. Let me just try to get the link for our chat. And so this is just to say that we have often people from very different organizations, DAOs or involvement.io, I think, coming over to present what they're doing and how they're building their organization. So if I send you the link, maybe you can show it for
Okay.
everyone. I'm going to put it on the chat. And in this case, they're a real world DAO, if you want to call it that, because you can see that they're already growing tomatoes, putting away trash, doing cleanups, doing social type of collaboration. They are planning to have their own coin, or they already have something of that sort. And they're now coming to reach out to crypto communities to try to help them create their token. So, and then when they land in this type of situation, what I was pointing out to the person that came over yesterday is that they need to start a relationship with us because we're also growing. So they can either go to something like Clarity. Clarity has a tool for DAOs where out of the blue, you can create your token in your governance and people vote on their tool. It's already done. Or if they come to Gimbalabs, probably we're going to try to build something very bespoke for them, very customized, but it's a whole different process of analysis. Yeah. Okay, so examples like this, we have a whole history of them already on YouTube, and maybe you can come and take a look at what people are coming for next week's to present live.
This is for Gimbalabs Playground, right? Every Tuesday?
Yeah, exactly. So if you go somewhere there.
I'm pretty sure there's a Miro board, like.
Exactly.
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Okay.
So we can take a peek at who's coming next.
Okay. It's completely community-led, and anyone can just decide to present on something that they find interesting, like a protocol, maybe.
You can take the opportunity to find one day and come in and present CardanOx.
Okay,
if you want. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah. And it's also a great opportunity to network. So you see the involvement.
So
can you zoom in just a little bit more?
Yes.
Thanks.
My touchpad is a bit wonky, but okay.
Yeah. Yep. So you see, yesterday we had involvement. Then I'm not sure what that is. Sometimes it's sort of a chill. The expression chill is when someone just comes to promote their things, but it's still work. It's still healthy. We talk a lot in Catalyst about Some people, in crypto, you say proof of work, proof of
Mm-hmm.
stake, but then when you're really successful, just at expense of your marketing, people say you're being successful out of proof of marketing. Because if you really spam or network,
Mm-hmm.
you can see it on a healthy way or on a more out of interest way. But yeah, it's always good to network, I think.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm just reading up on some of the interesting projects like food sustainability or this food
Hmm.
traceability. Yeah, and I want to ask, must all this presentation be something that's related to Cardano? Because I have been doing a course, I mean, I'm trying to do a course, right, on like token design, token engineering.
Yep.
So it's chain agnostic, but I think it applies to everything. Like we can build token like good systems in Cardano
Hmm.
as well, using all these fundamental principles. So I thought that this is a really cool new course that has just like
Okay,
been
but
launched. So yeah, but
but
it's
you so
not
you're
Cardano
doing this
focused.
course, and what would
Yes.
you come to present on the playground? The course, or
I'm
what
not
your
sure.
idea is?
It's
O-
just something that's interesting, like just sharing and
Okay,
stuff. Like
because we do
maybe.
have one side of our activities
Hmm.
exclusively for tokenomics.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So let me just take a look on
Is it
my
somewhere?
calendar. Yeah, it's TPBL. So usually we have PPBL, which is Plutus PBL,
Hmm.
and then T for token PBL. You should find it on our Discord as well.
Is it
Um,
one of the channels here?
Give me
TPBL.
just, it's either a channel or a section, but it's in there somewhere. I'm just going around all my windows here. This one. Can you jump to one of those messages that are talking about TPBL?
Yep, speaking
Click
of
click the
TPBL.
little jump there.
So it's under share an idea.
Okay, so that's not it. Um, I'm just also trying to reach to my calendar to tell you that tokenomics PBL is every
Is it this
Tuesday.
one?
Yeah, you should react with that little thing. And
Oh,
now there
okay,
you
that's
go.
cool.
So you
Hmm.
see this week at TPBL. So in that channel, just scroll down. Some of these,
Tuesday
like
at.
Gimbalabs, works in a funny way in terms of the zooms and everything,
Mm-hmm.
which is you need to add them to your own calendar
Mm.
and know a bit when they are. But if as long as you start having a bearing on your calendar when they're happening, if you
Mm-hmm.
come to Discord, James always publishes a few minutes or a few hours before what we're doing on that day, etc. So this forum here is every Tuesday, from looking at my calendar, at 4 UTC, 5
Mm-hmm.
for us in Lisbon and London. And the goal is really just to talk about this. If you go, for example, if we're on the topic and if you're interested, I invite you
Mm-hmm.
to go on there and scroll up as well on the channels. I mean, on the channels list.
Channels.
Yeah,
Okay, usually when I use Discord, it's a bit
that's fine.
confusing for me. Yeah,
So
so
you have a lot of
which
channels.
channel?
Scroll up on the channels list all the way up. If you go to share an idea, there I was posting yesterday. See that message I dropped there at midnight?
Mm-hmm.
So that was an interesting topic I found as well,
Mining
which
node.
is, so we have Cardano users in the globe, then you have
Mm-hmm.
IOHK, then you have Catalyst, and then within Catalyst there's an organization, or there's a number of small initiatives that try to help govern or orient or complement what Catalyst
Mm-hmm.
is doing, and one of those things is Circle. Catalyst
Circle.
Circle is supposed to be electing a representative of ADA holders, a representative of, I was going to say miners, ISP stake pool operators, a representative of the main parts of Catalyst. And
Mm-hmm.
this is all just to say that they are also trying to find their governance.
Mm-hmm.
So we have
Okay.
the whole of Cardano governance, which is Voltaire going to be in the
Mm-hmm.
future. You have Catalyst governance, which is the voting and everything. And then
Mm-hmm.
just for this specific Catalyst Circle thing, the link I put in there was a number of senior, let's say, people in the Cardano community talking about how to decide how to govern the circle. So it's really
Okay.
just a smaller part, but it's quite important because they're going to try to be sort of like a forum of the representatives of all the parts of our system. So I invite you to take a look at that and maybe take a listen to that Twitter space, because it was
Twitter space.
yeah, that dropped on Discord.
Yep, I'll check out a few things after this session, one of which is Catalyst Circle, the other one is the Gimbalabs PPBL, I think.
Yeah. What I'll do as well, that I always do, is take our YouTube recording, load it, upload it, and do some timestamps, because we're not planning what we're going to do. I try to do a documentation so that we can come back to the topics. But I think it's really interesting. It's a bit what you wanted, but it's always going to be like this. Catalyst is very diverse and fragmented. I think it's by design that we want it to be a bit like that.
All right. Should we go back to Catalyst and just take a look at
Sure.
how the interface is like and everything else? So if we view ideas, these are all the ideas here, but I am just finding it pretty hard to navigate because, like, ideally there should be a timeline, like which stage are we at right now?
The
like,
first thing to say here is that it's a bit like, you've used Canvas and Moodle and those platforms. This is not IOHK platform. It's not Catalyst platform. Ideascale is a platform that already existed. And we're trying to fit in to what they, for example, call campaigns or something.
Okay.
So the simplest way, I think, that because my entry point is usually a proposal, I'm going to invite you to click one specific proposal that's in there.
Intellectual property. Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
So
this is for Fund 9, I think. If you scroll up.
No, it's not Fund 9.
It's older?
No, it's quite a while ago.
Okay.
Let me just go filter for...
I was inviting...
Africa? Yep.
Yeah, I was inviting someone. I think Randall was on our Miro board for some reason. And sometimes it would be good to have someone very, more skilled in Catalyst than me. But
yeah, but I think Lucy is more familiar with Catalyst than me because she's the one that's like submitting proposals on behalf of CardanOx and stuff. Yeah.
Cool. Do you want to take the lead, Lucy?
Well, maybe on the assessor side, actually, I found it sort of it's hard to navigate when you are outside, like when you see all the proposals. But once you click in, you can actually see the timeline and where, like, which stage the proposal is at.
Oh, so it's over here, right?
Yeah.
But do we know how long each stage is supposed to last? Like, when will finalize be? Like, when will this stage end and when will the next one begin? And can we see the exact date for those?
No, there's a lot of material going around. Remember last session I shared a slide deck, Google Slides. There's a lot of information going around in Telegram, in Google Slides, on Zoom calls being communicated and discussed. So it's a whole bouquet of tools that you need to keep an eye on.
Okay. So the information is scattered everywhere, but it's not in one central place.
I think for me, the main source of information is actually they send out a newsletter thing every week when the fund is on. So that's where I go to for all the other resources.
Is it the one that's called Catalyst something? If I'm not wrong, I'm also receiving that.
I can tell you that it starts always with "Hello, beautiful soul," right?
What?
Lucy?
Okay. Yeah. That sounds like a scam, but okay.
Yeah. I can't laugh.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I got one just recently, I think.
So okay. I'll just keep an eye out for this now. I've been receiving too many random emails.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
So you have that. When I joined like 4 months ago, Fund 9 was starting to go into proposal assessment. And I know that you will always find a document that's supposed to be an end-to-end orientation with all the links. I should have that somewhere here. But you know, just take it from where you are, where we are now in the cycle, which is between 9 and 10. So maybe you can start looking at formalizing your proposals. It's good. For example, me, I'm planning to prepare 2 proposals. Maybe you guys can help me to, you know, to put them in.
What are those proposals about?
Well, one of them is called Cardano for non-techs, if you might have heard of it.
Yep.
And the other one is called AdaInk, which has to do with bringing a concept that's already been done in Ethereum, but I didn't really knew it was done in Ethereum before when I came up with it, which is all the tattoo shops that are around the world being able to network and have a community where they have sort of a website. Instead of going to Game Changer to mint an image of a client and give it to the client as an NFT, we could create a community where tattoo shops educate each other, they educate the end users, and when an end user comes to have a tattoo, especially if it's a planar thing, if it's more very curved around the whole leg or an arm, it's very hard to digitize it. But if it's a simple plain thing, the tattooer usually does it on paper, so he can scan that paper and then before stenciling it to the person, and then the person can in some have the version on a skin and the version as an NFT that they can use for whatever they want. And that is sort of like a platform where they can leave it to their offspring, they can send it across the world for someone else to have the same tattoo, they can do whatever.
Okay, that is super interesting. I didn't.
Yeah,
I
it's a
mean,
very simple concept. It's just
what struck out to me is that you're actually trying to reach out to those tattoo artists, right? Which is a really niche population audience. Yeah,
I have
that's
I have a partner from Portugal. She's a biker. She used to do roller blades fighting or whatever. She's like full of tattoos, and she's telling me that tattoo shops are either gonna love it or hate it because you know.
Why would they hate it? I mean, I don't see any reason to hate it, but okay.
Well, some people are very purist and they don't want. It's like the type of culture where they think you can't take my picture because you're stealing my soul. And some people are like, this is my drawing. I draw it. It's on my skin. It was hand drawn by someone. I don't want any copies of it anywhere. Let's see.
Okay. Yep, that is really, really interesting. I think we should submit a proposal for CardanOx and that also, I mean, maybe something else as well. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Cool.
Let's see.
So by the way, can we talk a second about how's it going with the guys from Gimbalabs have actually been asking how the PPBL has been working out for your learners. Maybe you want to leave a testimony here for James.
Let's see. Okay, like nearer to the end of like the summer vacation, I am not free, right? Because I went on a holiday. So I passed it to one of our teammates to check in with the PPBL learners every now and then. So currently, like we started with about 10, but the ones that are actually continuing like halfway through is about 5. But then it's more like because they know that it's self-paced, I don't think it's like super top of their priority list. And that's why most of them are still at week 2, like module 2, by the time we like by the time summer is almost like ending, right? So I mean we can see who are the very engaged people. Like for example, Nishan, he's definitely gonna come and pop by more for more CardanOx event, which is something that we want to like see more of, right? And for a few others, let's see, I can see some of the others are like they do try to get engaged, but they do have other stuff happening. Like one of them is doing work and studies at the same time, which I'm not sure. Like he's Chris, so I'm not sure what he said that he may not be able to continue that often, but he will try his best. So most of the updates are like those, right? So it's more like I don't think they will continue that studiously during, especially since now that school has started. Yeah, but
It has to do with
Yep.
their motivations, I imagine. So
Mm-hmm.
if it was just out of curiosity, it's different than if they're really
Mm-hmm.
planning in a few months to be working in it. For
Mm-hmm.
example, me, I want to learn Plutus, but I'm probably never going to be a full-time developer because I am more half technical, half business analyst and functional. So yeah, I understand. But just to point out that on future iterations between CardanoX and Gimbalabs, the guys are really very eager to get feedback to see, for example, if there's a learning curve or if there's a difficulty curve from one model to the next, and that created sort of a barrier. We are really eager to know where that is, so that we can try to smoothen those barriers.
Yes.
Okay.
I think for this iteration, the main issue is like with the intrinsic motivation of those people that we select, because not a lot of people actually apply, right? So what we're trying to do this time is to maybe do some more events on our side and see how we can increase the intrinsic motivation of our audience, those who have never heard of Cardano, to be first of all very interested in Cardano, like before everything else. And after they're very interested, we can select from that pool to like join the Plutus project-based learning program next time, which means that if the pool of applicant this time are those that actually want to maybe start a career, like you said, in Cardano, then I assume that there will be much higher completion rate this time around.
Okay, so maybe we can use, and I'm not sure exactly how our paths will go, but I would really suggest starting, for example, what I tried to do in Gimbalabs was to do what we called learner success and keeping up with people and chatting a bit. So probably you've been doing that as well, and I see you've done it on WhatsApp. But even preceding that, if we do a bit something like the Cardano for non-techs, where we challenge like 10 or 15 people to come and install a wallet and learn about Web3, because the fact that they really understand what Web3 is probably going to open their eyes to, okay, this is going to impact me sooner or later, either if it's a social token or something like that. So yeah. Also, just coming back to the question from Gimbalabs, we're also a bit curious between non-subsidized learners, and because your guys were paying some sort of a small scholarship, but I imagine you only have your point of view, so we would have to meet somehow to gauge that. Yeah, let's talk about that later, probably.
Okay.
Cheers.
Yeah.
So going back to navigating here, Lucy, can you come back to just pointing out how we can jump around or something? What can we do around here? There's the sections in the proposal.
Yep.
Which sometimes I think change from fund to fund. They're always being tweaked a bit.
I think when you write the proposal, like your interface will be very similar to this. Like you will see the question as they are appearing for people who read your proposal. But there will just be like somewhere for you to enter your answer in it. But I personally don't find this platform being a very good place for drafting proposals. I tend to just write it somewhere else, like in a Word document, and after everything's like mostly finalized, I move it over to the Ideascale platform.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. So first of all, submit and refine, finalize, assess, and these are the parts that we can encourage other people who are not even in the Cardano space yet to join in and just take a look around and maybe get more involved in the future.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, to for example, me, I didn't regret so much not being a proposal assessor on Fund 9 because I didn't know where I was doing so far. And if things go to what is expected, probably we're going to try, Catalyst is going to try to implement some sort of I don't know, some type of groups of teams that if it's a technical proposal, we have someone that's fairly proven to be technical, if it's more, social or environment. So the best thing is really to start taking, I don't think it's the best step to someone to join in and just go straight to evaluating proposals. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's interesting.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
One thing that I was always also thinking, and I made a note to try to put into our Miro board, is that there are at least two tools that complement this one, especially
Mhm.
for voters. There's one by Lidonation, and there's another one they call the voting tool. I'm
Mm.
not sure who did that one, but I'm going to try to research and drop those on the board for us to look on next session.
Okay,
Okay.
that would be awesome. Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not easy to navigate here, but all this information is sort of harvested and presented in a different way on the other platforms.
Mhm.
Okay. I was just curious if you could toggle between challenges. I remember going around here,
Yep.
and if you scroll up somehow, I thought it was on the combo box on the top left. No.
Top left. I remember that we can toggle between
Mm.
challenges here as well, but I assume that that's because right now it's not during the fund itself.
Yeah,
Maybe.
not sure. Yeah, so and then here, speaking about the structure of a proposal as well, it's very, it seems very intuitive,
Mm.
but I imagine that you need to start getting used to this type of structuring of your things. So you can't write a proposal just out of improvising without looking at many others. You can't be a proposal assessor without knowing as well the structure and what makes sense. And sort
Okay.
of it's very qualitative evaluation, I think. So yeah. Okay,
Right.
let's take a look at the Miro, maybe to take a look at
Yeah.
what else we
can do maybe next week or
even within the Catalyst. Is there something else that we can take a peek today?
It will be a lot nicer. I mean, if we do a session during the fund itself to see how the assessing and everything works. But because we don't have that luxury right now, so that's fine.
Well, what I can do is, if I go to my notes on the Catalyst Global Town Hall, I have slides from, how do I do this? Presentation. So if I search for presentation here, I have 4 weeks back. I'm going to drop it in the chat. If you can take a peek. So this is Google Slides from 4 weeks back, because we're on 20 and this is 16. What else do I have? 18, 17, 16, yeah. So that's the farther I have back. Maybe we can browse through. So with same structure as you saw before, you have some links into some maybe interesting links on that previous slide there. The one that has the big list of projects, number 5.
Okay. I will just save this for our CardanOx Notion because we are trying to make a website. I mean, like audience facing website right now using Notion, and one of it is, let's see, Project Catalyst. And we need to revamp this, so I'll just add it in right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So
This
yeah,
might be
there's a lot of, there's this QR, which is something I've never really voted, to be honest, which is embarrassing, but I've only joined 4 months ago and that's it. My bags are still in Binance and I'm still transitioning them and etc. So, but just to say that when you really want to vote, you need to authenticate or register somehow. You get a QR code that you're supposed to treasure, and then eventually that allows you to go into other platforms and vote.
Okay, gotcha.
Maybe surely for Fund 10, I'm going to be doing that, and we can document it a bit better. And also,
dRep.
yeah.
No, I'm just curious.
You know what it
Does
is?
it stand for decentralized reputation?
No, it's like delegate. It's more, I think, delegated representative.
Oh, okay.
So this is just to do with Catalyst voting. It's not staking. It's not, it hasn't to do with stake per operators or anything. It's really just your votes in Catalyst. And so what happens in what's being presented on that slide, maybe we can even go back to the town hall number 16, YouTube, for example. You would see it there. It's probably on YouTube, right? So for these
let's see.
slides, maybe you don't have the link there. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is that if we go and search on YouTube, we could find the day where this slide was presented. Maybe not now, but what was being said there is that if we have delegated representatives as an option, probably a lot more people are going to vote. And this is because it's hard to elect the projects that you like. Currently, you can vote on projects that you like and that you don't like, or can vote up and down. And so, for example, you have 10,000 ADA. You can use those to put your 10,000 ADA weight as a plus on this project, as a plus on that project, as a minus on that project. It's always 10,000 adding to that project's voting. But it's really hard that each individual voter goes and has an opinion about 10, 20, 30 proposals or more. So what happens is that they sort of delegate that work to the dRep person. People can apply to be dReps because it's going to be a finite list of people, I think, that are going to be the dReps. And this is going to be basically facilitate the process of an average person voting by delegating and saying, I trust this guy because I know that his positions are this, his priorities are this. It's a bit like borderline politics, but we need to find ways. And that's even if you go to that Twitter space that I was dropping on Gimbalabs yesterday. There was one guy saying, guys, it's not like, this is not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. We're reinventing governance, and humankind has been trying to do this for millennia. So it's not supposed to be easy. We're going to need to keep iterating on it.
Yep, that's actually why I like blockchain as well, because it's so social in nature, even though it's like fundamentally still a technology.
Yeah, completely. That's why I like to be a technical person, but also functional and training and business analysis, because in the end, we're always solving human problems.
Yeah. How many time? Oh, we have 2 minutes.
2:40. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe just take a last glance at Miro from side to side on Catalyst, and we can see if there's anything that So we've done a bit of
we
the Discord.
did this, reviewed Catalyst School, yes. And yeah, we can watch that as well. Oh, yeah.
This was last week. Yeah.
It's the same as the one just now. I'll check it out later.
Yeah. Yeah. What we can also do, since we're looking at this, is maybe we can meet today. Today's Wednesday, right? Why did I say Thursday? Sorry, that's a typo there. Could you correct that?
Where is it?
The one, the red one on the center. Because the main one is on Wednesdays. But I think the guys are off now because we're between funds. So I'm pretty sure I saw maybe on the newsletter or somewhere that maybe this week is off. But keep in mind that it's useful to take a look at a live session, or you can see the YouTube of past sessions, which is right there on the
Okay.
side.
I think we'll have to take a look at the past sessions, because usually every Wednesday is our presentation day, basically, or like events day. Okay.
You're gonna do it async. Yeah.
Oh, async. Yeah, that's
the jargon. Okay, so we have 1 minute, and I'm just going to take a look, make a note here about the voting process as well.
Okay.
Maybe I can find at least a document that we can glance through.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Sorry that you still had to like talk so much, even though you're recovering today.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I like this. It was more chilled, more relaxed. Okay. See you next week. I'm gonna try to bring more people from somewhere. I need to work on that a bit as well.
Okay.
And I'm happy to say that we're having the Spanish and Portuguese session this Thursday as well, later. Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Yes. Thank you. Bye bye. See you next
Thank
week.
you. Bye.